Throughout history, some celebrities have made statements that later felt chilling after their deaths. These were not always clear prophecies, but words spoken in interviews, letters, songs, or casual conversations that seemed harmless at the time. When events unfolded, fans began to see these comments as eerie predictions. This script explores several famous figures who appeared to sense their own fate or warned about the future in unsettling ways. It is important to understand that these stories are shared not to promote fear, but to reflect on human intuition, creativity, and awareness. Many celebrities live under intense pressure, making them deeply observant of life, danger, and change. Sometimes their words sound prophetic only in hindsight. Still, the similarities between their statements and what happened later are hard to ignore. These stories continue to fascinate audiences around the world, reminding us how mysterious life, timing, and destiny can truly be. Tupac Shakur often spoke openly about death during his career, which makes many of his words feel haunting today. In several interviews, he mentioned that he did not expect to live a long life. Tupac once said he could see himself dying violently or being remembered as a martyr. At the time, many people thought he was expressing artistic emotion or frustration with his lifestyle. However, after his fatal shooting in 1996, fans revisited his lyrics and interviews with shock. Songs like So Many Tears and If I Die Tonight sounded less like fiction and more like warnings. Tupac lived in a dangerous environment filled with fame, rivalry, and constant threats. His awareness of that reality may have shaped his words. Even so, the accuracy of his statements continues to send chills through listeners decades later. Princess Diana reportedly expressed fears about her own safety long before her tragic death. According to letters shared later, she once wrote that someone was planning an accident involving her car. At the time, these fears were dismissed as stress caused by media pressure and personal struggles. Diana lived under constant surveillance from paparazzi, which made her feel trapped and unsafe. In 1997, she died in a car crash while being chased by photographers in Paris. Afterward, her earlier statements shocked the public. Many people felt her concerns had come true in a horrifying way. Whether her words were intuition or anxiety, they revealed how deeply uneasy she felt about her life. Diana's story remains one of the most discussed examples of a celebrity whose fears appeared to mirror her tragic end. John Lennon made several comments about death that later felt deeply unsettling. In interviews, he spoke about not expecting to grow old and feeling that his life might end suddenly. Lennon once joked that he would probably be shot by a crazy person, a statement that seemed random at the time. In 1980, he was tragically murdered outside his New York apartment. After his death, Fans remembered those earlier remarks with disbelief. Lenin was a symbol of peace, yet he understood the dangers of fame and obsession. His awareness of how deeply people connected to him may have fueled his fears. Although he often spoke with humor or sarcasm, his words now sound disturbingly accurate. Lenin's story shows how even light-hearted comments can take on dark meaning after tragedy strikes. Heath Ledger often spoke about how deeply he immersed himself in his roles, especially darker characters. While working on intense projects, he mentioned struggling with sleep and mental exhaustion. Ledger once said that his mind would not slow down, and that it was becoming dangerous. Many people saw this as dedication to his craft, rather than a warning sign. In 2008, he died from an accidental overdose of prescription medication. Afterward, fans and media revisited his interviews with concern. His comments about being overwhelmed suddenly felt like signals he was nearing a breaking point. Ledger never predicted his death directly, but his words revealed inner struggles. His story highlights how emotional pressure and exhaustion can quietly build behind a successful public image. Kurt Cobain's music and writings were filled with pain, confusion, and thoughts about death. In interviews, he spoke openly about feeling disconnected from the world and overwhelmed by fame. Cobain once said he did not see himself living a long life and felt trapped by expectations. At the time, fans viewed his words as part of his grunge image and artistic honesty. In 1994, he died by suicide, shocking the world. After his death, his lyrics and journals were re-examined with sadness and fear. Many realized he had been expressing his inner turmoil all along. Cobain's case shows how creative expression can sometimes be a cry for help. His words remain powerful, painful, and haunting to this day. Steve Jobs did not predict his death directly, but he spoke frequently about mortality. In his famous Stanford commencement speech, he said, "Remembering death helped him make important life choices." Jobs believed that death was life's greatest invention, clearing the way for new things. Years later, he died after a long battle with cancer. After his passing, many people felt his words carried a deeper meaning. He seemed aware that life was fragile and time was limited. Jobs encouraged people to live honestly and follow their intuition, as if time could run out at any moment. His reflections were not fearful, but they showed acceptance. Looking back, his calm understanding of death feels almost prophetic and continues to inspire millions. Michael Jackson reportedly spoke about feeling physically and emotionally exhausted before his death. Those close to him said he expressed fears about not surviving his demanding comeback tour. Jackson lived under extreme pressure from fame, health issues, and constant scrutiny. In rehearsals, he reportedly said the schedule was too much for him. In 2009, he died from acute drug intoxication. Afterward, These statements gained serious attention. Fans wondered if he sensed his body could not handle the stress. Jackson never claimed to foresee his death, but his concerns were real. His story reveals how intense expectations can push even the most successful people beyond their limits, with tragic consequences. The stories of these celebrities show how words can feel prophetic when viewed through the lens of tragedy. In most cases, these individuals were not predicting the future, but expressing fear, awareness, or emotional pain. After their deaths, people connected their statements to what happened, creating a sense of mystery. These stories remind us to listen carefully when people speak about their struggles. Fame often hides deep pressure and vulnerability. While these predictions may seem scary, they also teach empathy and understanding. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes people sense danger before it arrives. Remembering these celebrities through their words allows us to reflect on the fragile nature of life and the importance of mental, emotional, and physical well-being.